Why are you tripping now?
Because now you look like a...
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Frank Mitchell, the father of Moesha, Miles, and Dorian, was a character who stood out from the start of Moesha. To many viewers, he's remembered as one of TV's worst dads. A man who seemed to only get worse as the series went on, with increasingly strained relationships with his children, particularly Moesha. But today, I want to dive deeper and ask the question, was Frank really the problem, or were the writers responsible for turning one of the most well-intentioned dads into a villain? In the beginning, Frank Mitchell was the quintessential loving father. He wasn't perfect, but his love for his children was never in doubt. As a single father, he worked hard to provide for his kids, and his relationship with Moesha was at the core of the show. While Moesha was dealing with the typical teenage angst, boys, school, friendships, Frank was there, providing guidance, tough love, and often some much-needed discipline. He wasn't the type of father to coddle his kids, but that's what made him so relatable.
Frank, maybe I should go upstairs.
No, Dee, leave her alone. She thinks she's grown, let her go.
Go where,
Why
Frank?
don't you ask her? She has all the answers.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. It's tripping.
Frank was a man who believed in teaching lessons, not just giving his children everything they wanted. He believed in hard work, responsibility, and the importance of family. His moments with Moesha were filled with warmth and love, even though they sometimes butted heads. Take the time he grounded her for breaking curfew, it wasn't about punishing her, but making her understand the importance of responsibility. This tough love approach was something Moesha and the viewers could relate to. And let's not forget how Frank balanced being a dad and a provider. He wasn't around all the time, but when he was, his presence was significant. It wasn't about quantity, it was about quality. Frank always made sure his children knew they came first, even when he was struggling to keep things together. Whether it was advising Moesha on boys or teaching Miles how to be a man, Frank was always present and consistently loving. So, what happened to Frank Mitchell? In the later seasons, something changed. Frank began to be seen in a more negative light. His relationship with Moesha became strained, especially after the revelation that Dorian was Frank's son. Suddenly, everything changed. The family's dynamic was turned upside down, and the love they had for Frank seemed to shift as well. Moesha, in particular, felt betrayed. She had always seen Frank as her protector, and the idea that he had kept such a huge secret from her was a blow she wasn't prepared for. Miles was also affected, struggling with the idea of having a half-brother he knew nothing about. The betrayal felt more personal because it wasn't just about a lie, it was about the foundation of trust in their family being shaken. The family's reaction was understandable. They had always thought of Frank as an honest and upfront father, someone who would never hide something so significant. But when the truth came out, it felt like Frank had been living in a world of secrets. To make matters worse, Frank's explanation for why he didn't tell Moesha and Miles earlier was not enough to ease their hurt. Moesha felt like she had been robbed of her place in her father's life, and that sense of betrayal only deepened as Frank tried to explain himself. This event marked a turning point for Frank's character. He wasn't just the loving, firm father who made tough decisions anymore. He had become a man who had hidden a significant part of his past from his children. The consequences were devastating for his relationships with them. But here's the thing, while Frank made the decision to keep this secret, he wasn't the villain the writers made him out to be. His motivations weren't malicious. Frank didn't want to hurt his children, he was just trying to navigate a complex and difficult situation. Unfortunately, the writers made Frank's actions seem more hurtful than they were. They turned a man who had been a consistent and caring father into a character who seemed to make decisions that alienated his own family. But let's not forget the early seasons where Frank was one of the best TV dads. He might not have been perfect, but his love for his children was undeniable, and he did what he thought was best, even if it wasn't always easy. So, what do you think? Was Frank Mitchell really the worst TV dad, or did the writers misstep with his character arc? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into Frank Mitchell's evolution, be sure to like and subscribe for more TV analysis. Until next time, keep celebrating the characters who remind us that being a parent is never easy, but it's always worth it.